Yeah, this week to me is about a lot of the guys that have taken 1,000 reps, getting their load down a little bit, giving them a decel week. So if you watched out there, you didn't see Dante do very much because he's practiced pretty much every practice. You didn't see Burns do anything. You saw, us cut Luvu and Littleton a little bit. But guys like Shaq, guys who had some, JC, CJ, this is their chance to kind of get their load up. So, there's all the science to it that I don't really know, but you want everyone to have hit, a certain amount before you go into the first game. So we're kind of trying to use this time to eat, especially today, to even some things out and get some guys some reps. So Terrace, he went in the game. I really liked how physical he was. He's working, he's working to he just needs practice reps. Now that we think we have this situation solved with his hamstrings, we believe we do, just getting him on the field, getting him reps. And so I thought today looked like on the field a good day. Like caught the ball well, got open, and so we just we're just going to accelerate his development right now.
And then just a veteran rest day for Brian.
Yeah, Brian was sore last week, and then what I love about Brian Burns, man, he wanted to play in the game. He was dying to play in the game. At one point, he was taking his tape off, and I said, I thought you were going to go on the next third down. He taped himself back up and to go out there. So, he's had some soreness last week. So that was just kind of my day. Like, hey, today, let's give him today, just to make sure that when we hit Wednesday, Thursday of this week, he's got tomorrow. He's ready to go.
With preseason now done behind you, when you look at your team, when you first gathered down in Spartanburg to where you are today, how pleased are you with what you've done, and what's the biggest jump you've seen?
I'm really pleased with the team, just the camaraderie, the sense of team that they have. I think that's something that, until you're kind of really in it, until you see it, maybe you don't appreciate, when I'm up on the second floor, but when you go down to the first floor and you see those guys and the way that they kind of support each other, I think it's really something special that we have. I think we've gotten a lot better in a lot of areas. I think we're throwing and catching the ball better. I think our pass rush and getting after the quarterback has been really good. I think the thing we have to focus on, our main focus right now is our ability to run the ball and stop the run. And, that showed up a little bit in the game the other night. And so there's some work that has to be done. But it's not a talent issue. I don't think it's a scheme issue. I think it's just a technical execution issue at some areas that, we're going to try to be really, really intentional about and improve. Because obviously, we have Cleveland in 2 weeks. Nobody runs the ball better than those guys. So, we have a lot of work to do.
With preseason the way it is now entering camp, with the lack of physicality, is that something you got to learn when you're just playing games in the regular season? It's just kind of where we are in the NFL?
Yeah, I think the thing that, as I talk to guys in the NFL, the key that you don't want is you don't want to wait till week 6 and week 7 to be a good tackling team, because that's the first time you really tackled. So, that's why, we try to go live when we can. That's why we played our guys in 2 of the 3 preseason games. I needed our defense to have that 19-play drive, and I needed them to, be in the red zone and in the 2-minute. I don't think they thought they were going to play that long, but they did. And so we need to put some of those things on tape, hoping that we can address that physicality. Like this week, we're only allowed to be in pads one time, so it's hard to correct it. So you have to be really intentional when you're not in pads. But it's kind of we all have the same rules. So that's why we chose to play our guys in 2 games. I think some of those tackles that in a practice they tag off and said I would have had them. Well, we didn't have them. So now we've got to go back and make sure that we're really tackling well, especially with the guys we have coming up.
Baker's out there working, just finishing up working a little bit with Robbie. What do you want to see from him in this next week before he starts full game?
Yeah, I think Robbie, Robbie, we're just trying to make sure that we identify the things that he does really well within this offense that we can accentuate with him. Everyone knows Robbie, can catch the deep ball. But I think the things Robbie is, you go back and study him 2 years ago, caught a lot of balls across the middle, a lot of catch and runs. He catches with his hands. And so what you don't want is coaches starting putting a vision on a guy, he's a deep ball. Robbie can catch the ball all over the field, in the middle of the field. So I think building that chemistry with Baker and building that trust with Ben, I think that's what it comes down to. Ben's going to call the plays. He's going to put guys in positions. What I like about what we're doing on offense right now is if you watch the games, it's not all going through one person. And I know it's a preseason, but the ball seems to be getting to everybody. And so, on one side, people will say, hey, how come there's not one tight end with 8 catches? But I like seeing Sully get a catch and Tommy have a catch or 2. I like seeing the ball spread out. So, but I'm looking for that from Robbie. I'm looking for Robbie to really cement himself in some key roles in the passing game.
What about Baker? What does he need to comb up or fine-tune the next week?
He's got a lot of work to do, because he's, like I say, he's still so young in this, right? It's, he's come so far, but you have to realize, there's plays the other night where, maybe I'm supposed to take a 5-step drop, and I shorten it up and take a 3, and that just gets the timing off just a bit. And so great thing about Baker, he loves to work. He's going to work at it. There's so much, and what he's done is really fantastic, but we need the same intent focus on learning over the next month. And, I think our goal as a team is to be a team that gets better and better and better and better every week, and I think that starts probably with our quarterback.
Matt, how important is Jeremy Chin to the defense? I mean, it sounds like he brings.
Well, I think Jeremy, he's a difference maker on our defense. Physical presence. You saw in the game there, next some runs popped. He's kind of that eraser. When the ball does pop, he's going to go down and make tackles. He's versatile. You can blitz him. He can play man. He played him at linebacker the first year. So I think there's so many different things that he can do. But I also think he has an edge to him. Like, I know he comes over here, he smiles, but he's got a little bit of an edge to him as a player. He likes to be physical. He likes to play the game. And so I think he just fits right in kind of with that cast of guys we have on defense.
Do you know yet whether Zane will require surgery?
He's going up to see the doctor to confirm whether he does or does not. So I can't say yes. I just think it's probably it's certainly a possibility. I think he just has to get with a doctor face to face and make that decision.
Would it be season ending regardless of that decision?
I can't say that. I think the timetable would be if it wasn't potentially, but I don't know.
Matt, what as you look at it right now, what position or positions are going to be toughest tomorrow? Okay.
Well, they're all tough because I think we've improved the roster so much. I think we have a lot of guys in the receiver room and in the D-line room, a lot of different positions, a lot of guys really all across the board. So, we've been we didn't make any cuts kind of going into this week because we just said, hey, let's get through today, and obviously we've been working at it, but just there's a lot of hard decisions to be made. And that's a credit to these guys. There's a lot of competition for hey, the practice squad spots. So that's a credit to these guys. So, tonight we'll be here for a while here today. We have a lot of hard decisions to make.
Quickly, have you guys got any clarity on Sam Darnold's grade sprain?
No, they requested there was another test that they wanted to request. So to be clear, because I never ever. Sometimes it maybe sounds very vague for me because sometimes you guys ask me to confirm a report or something like that. But we anticipate it being at least 4 weeks. I can't say 4 to 6 because we want to make sure it's not longer than that, or So we don't know what it is to be right now. So he was going to get some testing done today, some additional testing. To see, and we're hoping that I hope it's less than 4 weeks for him. So, but I don't have that yet. I should have that hopefully tonight, maybe for tomorrow.
And then shifting back to practice, what was your message to the team when you gathered them, knowing that this is the last time these 80 guys will be together?
Well, I really addressed the team at the end of the game, and I thanked them. For me personally, and I think you guys a couple of times you guys asked me about it at camp. This is the most fun I've had coaching football in 3 years. This is 3-4 years maybe. This is an unbelievable group of guys, and no one can ever understand how hard it's been for all of us here. Well, I guess the whole world does understand how hard it is to have a football team during COVID. It's just really, really hard, and so they've been so good to each other. What many people thought would tear the team apart, a quarterback competition, which doesn't happen very often in the NFL, right? I thought actually brought the team together. Those guys came together. And so I just told the team I was unbelievably grateful. And you know what my message is, and it might sound corny to some people, but everyone can't be on the team, but everyone can be a part of our family, our football family, right? This is a business. We have to make business decisions. But everyone, since they've been here, they've given us their all. And so I certainly appreciate that. So my hope is that we can keep as many of these guys as possible, right, in terms of getting guys on the practice squad and all those things. And then Scott will do his job of trying to always improve the roster and find guys. But I think we have a lot of good football players here.
You start on Cleveland next week, you think?
Well, the coaches are doing it. We were in here yesterday working on it. Snow's been, every preseason game when I walk by his computer on the plane, he's been watching it. So I think they're probably pretty far ahead. But we'll start working with the players officially, on Monday. But we'll integrate some things in on Wednesday and Thursday too. Once we're kind of down to the 53, but the true focus will start Monday.
Matt, what's the status on Zylstra, Colin Thompson, Barno, and
Gio, I think, is going to be just like next week, just a really mild, he kind of thought he could continue to play. So I'm hoping next week he'll be practicing, but sometimes that could be the week after. I don't know, but I think it's pretty mild. Colin's running, so he would be a couple days to a week. Zylstra, he had a calf. He had a calf injury. Zylstra, we think is 3 or 4 days, so we think he's on his way back. And then Barno should be a couple days. So we think all those guys would be ready for next week.
Thank you, Coach.